The following presentation was given at the Unitarian Universalist congregation of Tupelo in Tupelo, Mississippi. All are welcome to join us on Sundays at 11 a.m. at 1301 Marshall Street in Tupelo.
It's a strange kind of service for me. The poem Dylan Thomas wrote back in the 19-teens has always kind of struck me as a thing of spitting in the eye of death and the eye of the unknown. But what I kind of want to turn that into today is a grasp of taking hold of our own future, our duties to a future for our system of government, for our way of life. And I want to see if you can get this sense from Dylan Thomas's work that I do. And I admit you have to reach just a bit to get past the old man and the death business. And it's called Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night. And you can tell from my transmogrification of that title that I'm trying to warp that into how we should take charge of our role in our government for the coming year. But Dylan Thomas writes, "Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Though wise men at their end know dark is right, because their words had forked no lightning, they do not go gentle into that good night. Good men, the last wave by, crying how bright their frail deeds might have danced in a green bay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Wild men who caught and sang the sun in flight and learned too late they grieved it on its way. Do not go gentle into that good night. Grave men near death who see with blinding sight, blind eyes could blaze like meteors and be gay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. And you, my Father, there on the sad height, curse, bless me now with your fierce tears, I pray. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light." And in a transition kind of sense, I want to turn to Khalil Gibran and his Pity the Nation, because I think it's rather appropriate for these times and this moment, and is somewhat instructive of where I'm hoping we can collectively move our spirits today and head ourselves toward a constructive path for the year ahead. Khalil writes, "Pity the nation that is full of beliefs and empty of religion. Pity the nation that wears a cloth it does not weave and eats a bread it does not harvest. Pity the nation that acclaims the bully as hero and that deems the glittering conqueror bountiful. Pity a nation that despises a passion in its dream, yet submits in its awakening." Pity the nation that raises not its voice, save when it walks in a funeral, boasts not among its ruins, and will rebel not, save when its neck is laid between the sword and the block. Pity the nation whose statesman is a fox, whose philosopher is a juggler, and whose art is the art of patching and mimicking. Pity the nation that welcomes its new ruler with trumpeting and farewells him with hooting, only to welcome another with trumpeting again. Pity the nation whose sages are dumb with years and whose strong men are yet in the cradle. Pity the nation divided into fragments, each fragment itself deeming it a nation. You know, for a guy who passed away in the teens, Khalil is kind of prescient. But is that truly, was he thinking of our situation? No. He's a pretty smart guy, but I don't think that he was a future caster or a clairvoyant or any of those magical things. What I believe is happening is we're experiencing the human thing, the creature, the way we are, what we do, how we believe, how we work. We go in cycles. Hindus have taught us that for thousands and thousands of years. They have recognized cycles that run into the hundreds of thousands of years, which also turn out to have a remarkable correlation to things going on in the solar system, in the universe, in the galaxy, the amount of time it takes the Earth solar system to go around a complete circuit of this galaxy is one of the biggest of the cycles of the Hindu system. The perturbations of the pole as we go about the wobbling of the Earth's rotation is another one of those 10,000-year cycles. So they've been around and looking at the cyclic nature of the universe, of the cosmos, and of humans for quite a while. So instead of being pessimistic about our situation today, I want to encourage us to be optimistic. But by optimistic, I don't mean that we should just sit back with our hands out and wait for some mythical being high in the sky to drop all the good stuff in our hands. What I'm inclined to believe is that as we cast our bread upon the water, it won't just return 1,000-fold unless we do something to harvest it, to gather it, to nurture it, to make the good things happen. Oh, you can sit back and say, well, let's just pray on it, and God will take care of all that stuff. We'll just sit here and wait, and pretty soon the basket will fill with money, and the roof will get fixed. And don't forget, God was here on earth once and is going to come again, and so we don't have to do anything but have faith. Let's just believe. You know, if you'll just believe, all this stuff is going to get fixed. Well, I've been at it 82, 81 years. Jack's been at it a little longer than that. Has it got fixed with us just sitting on our butt? I don't think so. Anybody want to believe back there that when you're 80, everything will be all perfect if you just sit on your butts? Do you think so? Well, thank you. I'd be awful disappointed if you said, hell yes, it's going to happen. Leave me alone. I want it to be good. And I don't want to do nothing to help it. I mean, my God, that I should have to stand up and declare my principles in public. Somebody might point a finger at me and do what? Well, they might hurt me. Okay, yeah, do it. They'll do it around here. You know, some of these ornery folk will fire your ass. You'll be out looking for a job. And the word will get around that, ooh, he's a heathen. Don't hire him or her. They're bad. Their feet stink. And they don't love Jesus. I mean, how big a trouble can you get into around here, being in that kind of a circumstance? But I'm proud of some of you who stand up and oppose this festering corruption that we've allowed to get a hold in our system, in our government, and oppose it. Get organized, get on the street, get people. You know, some folks, I must admit, I want to do a lot more than I can do. And that's frustrating as you get older. So while you still got the energy, do what you can. Foolish? No, don't be foolish. Don't go standing in the middle of the street and stopping traffic because somebody's going to run over you. And that won't do you or the cause any good at all. But you can morally practice what you believe. You can stand for what you believe. You can address the ill and evil when you see it, as you see it, in the schools, in your government, in the city council, the county council. You can get to the polls and vote. You can do all sorts of things purely within the system. We have a marvelous system if we will use it, if we will take our responsibilities, and it's resting on the foundation of one principle, and that's the vote. Anybody in this country who does not vote is a sinner of the most abominable kind. I mean, there's nothing religious to do with the responsibility that our system of government places upon all of us. But to fail with that responsibility, you know, there are people in this world who are willing to die just to get to vote. They take great pride in that stain on their finger that they get when they go to the polls and vote, even knowing that some of those voters are going to get their finger cut off for having done it, are going to die because they voted. And we sit here with it gifted to us, a free present. And if we don't take advantage of that one opportunity to truly affect how we're being governed, then shame on us. Just absolute shame on us. Now, you all are going to vote, every one of you. Is there any, well, I won't embarrass you by asking, is there anyone who has not voted in the last 2 or 3 elections? Because I'm confident that you all have. I hope you all have. But I would say, how much have you done to get other folks to go out and commit their energy to the ballot box? Have you given anybody a ride? Have you talked to anybody? Have you even posted on Facebook or Twitter or Twaddle or whatever the means of communication is this month to help other people be motivated to get off their butt and go vote? That's why I commented today about Tuesday's election. It kind of came as a surprise to me. And I read the Daily Journal pretty thoroughly every day. Some days it's so skimpy it doesn't take long, but I do try to read it. And today was the first day that I really became aware that this Tuesday we have an election. Is that my fault? Partly, maybe. Rest of you kind of knew about it, but mostly we haven't publicized it. Could it be that folks don't want us to know about that election? And if that's the case, then boy, do we need to do some work with our county council. Like go to a meeting. I haven't been to a county council meeting since they changed the location and got that new pretty building. And I should have. Last time I went was for a meeting about the civil rights monument on the county courthouse. And there weren't but 3 other people there, all of us because we were interested in that memorial. Oh, there was a 4th. There was a reporter from the Daily Journal. But I haven't been, and so they presume, I guess, that I don't care. They can do whatever they want. Involvement is a key in addition to just voting. How many have been to a county council meeting? Of course you two. Good for both of you. Good for you too. You haven't? Well, you live in Pontotoc. They may not have them. But what's wrong with doing that? What's wrong with showing the face of the younger generation? I mean, old codgers, we got lots of time. We can go do stuff like that. And they do tend to have these meetings at oddball times when it's hard to get off work to go do it. But, so write them a letter. Do something. Stay involved. This is our country. Damnation, it's not anybody's but ours, collectively. We, us'ns, not theirs. It's all of us together. And you know what? That means we got to tolerate some of those folks who just got no sense at all. Just like we sort of need to encourage them to tolerate us, because according to them, we're just a bunch of crazy liberals. We want to give everything away. Nobody needs to work. We're going to take care of everybody. Yeah, sure we are. But we can certainly contribute our leavening to the mixture. Humane government, caring government, not giveaway government, but equal opportunity government, level playing fields, rules that fit and apply to everybody, even to the county council members and the members of the city government, even to the operations officer of the city of Tupelo, the prosecutors. A DUI is a DUI. I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican. The rules need to apply to everybody, and it's our job to help remind them of that. And if we don't remind them, they're going to presume we don't care. And if we don't care, then we'll just continue doing nothing, and pretty soon we'll wake up to the sound of boots on the doorstep at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's happened before. I sure as hell don't want it to happen here. And what was the name of that movie? I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore line? Network. That you can't wait until it's too late to do something. Affirmative action for all. And, it's only 20 till, but I'm talked out. Thank you all very much. Happy New Year. And don't go gentle into that dark year.
Thanks for listening to the UUC of Tupelo's podcast. You can find us at uuctupeloms.org, on Facebook by searching for UUC Tupelo, or contact us by email at uuctupelocom@gmail.com. That's uuctupelocom@gmail.com. The UUC of Tupelo is a welcoming congregation who accept all people, regardless of creed, color, national origin, gender, or gender identity. We hope you have enjoyed this podcast, and as you head on your way, go in peace, believe in peace, create peace.